Hello, Grieftender. I thought I was procrastinating. I thought I was stuck again, distracted again, maybe a little scattered, maybe doing that thing where I know what needs my attention. And so because I know something needs my attention, I get real busy doing some other stuff, just moving around the thing that needs my attention. But then I realized that grief had entered the chat. I'm not even sure how I noticed it. I just know that I did. And it wasn't the kind of grief that had me crying with like a specific, clear reason in my mind. It wasn't the type of grief like missing somebody who had died, like when my grandfather died and knowing exactly why my chest hurts. I know that kind of grief. This wasn't that. This was quieter than that. There were health concerns with people I love. There were mortality things moving through the lives of my friends that I was in deep conversation with. There was sleep being interrupted. So at first I realized what's going on. It's grief. One of the things that can be helpful is to change my scenery. Maybe I'll go to a coffee shop or maybe the new library up the road. But I could feel that the whole process of getting ready and leaving, just the thought of it, would be another way of moving around the thing, moving away from what actually needed me. So I just kept on what I had on and I went to the backyard, that perfectly imperfect backyard. I packed my favorite bag, the one with the colors and the texture that I love. I brought my notebook, a couple pens, a highlighter, my computer, something to drink, something to put on my head in case the bugs got too close to my ears. I came out here with like the things that helped me work and the things that helped me to feel held. And I sat in a chair that I made with my own hands, with a cushion that I found that fitted just right. And I was next to a table that my partner made with his hands, near the plants, the birds, the lizards, the ants, the bees, the butterflies, the trees, the rocks, the bark, the living trees, and the remains of dead trees that were turned into seating, because that's what made sense for our lives and our priorities. So this place, this yard, it knows decision making. And something in me knew to go be there. We figured out where the hammock should go. That was a decision we made. We chose what trees needed to come down because they were risky in the wind, and what trees belong here, even if they were just like annoying because of whatever falls from the tree. And before I even opened the computer, I took a breath. I brought to mind what I knew I was grieving, what I suspected I was grieving, and what my body might already be processing. I said the Ho'oponopono chant that my friend taught me years ago, this one that says, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you." I didn't need to know exactly what every line was for. I wasn't even sure if I should or shouldn't be apologizing. Didn't matter. I was calling in the energy of release, of gratitude, of love, repair, just letting my mind catch up with what my body was already carrying. I knew that much. And then something shifted. The thing I'd been calling stuckness started to look different. I'd been revisiting this plan for the next form of my grief work again and again, and over weeks at that. And I'd been telling myself that I was stuck because it hadn't come through, the first, second, third, or fourth time that I sat with it. But maybe that wasn't stuck. Maybe that was progression. Maybe that was what this particular idea needed. As an unschooler, I learned that, for example, a child who was not reading at the age that somebody expected them to be reading was not automatically behind or failing or broken. That just wasn't their rhythm yet. That might not have been their groove. People have their own timing, their own processes, their own ways of becoming available to what wants to come through. I know that. I've witnessed it. I've lived it. And now what I'm learning is that ideas have rhythms too. Grief has rhythms too. Sometimes clarity does not show up because I force it. Sometimes clarity shows up because I gave the thing enough chances to be met. I came back to it. I learned a little more about the fear living in it, the excitement in it, the overthinking in it, the real desire in it, the what next in it. That time in the backyard helped me to see that grief can interrupt, just like procrastination. It can look like indecision. Grief can look like distraction. For me, it can look like writer's block, brain fog, or a strange sort of resistance to the thing that I actually care about. And as a grief tender, I'm realizing that sometimes grief tending teaches you something you can remember, and other times it might not feel like it's teaching you shit. It may simply give your body a place to be with what your thinky brain hasn't caught up to just yet. That day, it gave me enough room to just let the ideas simmer and come back to it from a space of trust. And I walked away from that backyard different. Still carrying what I was carrying. I didn't release anything there. It wasn't like healing. But it was super generative. And I left that yard no longer calling the whole thing stuck. This is my offering for when grief interrupts. Before you decide you're procrastinating, ask yourself what grief might be trying to get your attention. What are you grieving that might be trying to get your attention? And if you can, find a place that helps your body to really get into that truth, whether it's a comfy chair, a yard, a notebook, a warm drink, a messy corner of the world where something living can sit with you while you listen. And if you like this video, I have another one about when grief interrupts and how you can use sugarcane. Yes, sugarcane. Or some other thing that brings you comfort and nostalgia to tend to your grief in a moment. Watch that video. It's here.